Alright, well, it looks like I get to do another worst to best, and this time it's one of my favorite game franchises, Ape Escape. Who doesn't love this game series? However, ranking in worst to best is going to be a little easier than ranking the Chrono Trigger's worst to best at least. So, and I'm just going to do things with the main storyline, no side plots, just straight game. Maybe one on here will be in the worst category. Anyhow, let's get things started and let's start ranking this shit. Let's go! Yes, Ape Escape Pumpkin Prime. It's not exactly my favorite of the series. In fact, it's kinda stupid and the gameplay kinda sucks. But there is some redeemable stuff out of there. We get Derek Stephen Prince as Jake and Barbara Goodson as Spike, but other than that, it's not really that great a game. I mean, I couldn't get into it and I never did finish it. I really didn't like the gameplay tournament style battle and it really felt like it wasn't Ape Escape. This is really the only one on here that doesn't feel like a full-fledged Ape Escape game. And I know that's really sad and unfair, but that's just how I feel about this one. It doesn't feel like it belongs in the Ape Escape continuity. Even though all the characters are here, Spike's here, Jake's here, Spectre's back, but it just doesn't feel like it flows like the Ape Escape series. Alright, I'm done bitching, let's move on to the next one.
It's time to wake up and go to school.
Yes, the Ape Escape Academy game series. I don't care for these at all, honestly, and really, I couldn't get into it. I tried hard, too, and I tried really hard to get into this game, but I just couldn't. It didn't feel like Ape Escape yet again. Even though Spectre was great, and he was a treat to watch, and seeing some of the side villain monkeys were fun, too, but it just doesn't feel the same. I know this is technically a spin-off and it shouldn't really be on here, but I feel like I needed to bring a little attention to it. It does have some fun gameplay moments. Think of some of the mini-games from the very first Ape Escape game. They actually incorporated some of those on here. It's not terrible, but it's not anything grand or perfect either. However, it's at least worth a one-time shot. I recommend giving it a one-time shot at least. And I'm one of the biggest Ape Escape fans there are, so my recommendation's golden. I'm just some guy on YouTube. Okay, let's move on.
Potty, don't fail me now! Kaioken times 3!
Finally moving into one of the main storylines, Ape Escape 3 was actually pretty good in its time. I like that you could pick to be either male or female, and I like some of the power-ups that you could play as with some of the characters. Getting like a ninja suit and stuff like that, it's actually a pretty fun game. The side villains are back again, and Spectre's back again. The only thing I really don't care for is the voice changes that went on in this one. But other than that, it's pretty good. But in my opinion, the graphics are a little too good, and here I didn't know you could complain about graphics that much. Being too good anyway. It does feel a little more like an anime here than it does actually Ape Escape, but that's not a bad thing. I actually like the characters in this too. Even though Spike and Jake are both sidelined, and so is Hikaru, you still get to play out and play it pretty fun too. Spectre's really enjoyable to watch. I have a lot of fun playing it. Honestly, I can't wait for the PS4 to actually get this downloadable so that way I can play it again. It's been a few years since I've played it, but from what I remember of it, I really enjoyed the game, and I highly recommend anybody who hasn't played it to play it. It's really fun. What can I say about Ape Escape 2 that hasn't been said yet? It is great. And that's about it. It's great. It's not mediocre at all. It's better than 3 in my opinion. They didn't rely on these superpowers that they used in the third game, and it was sticking to its roots really well, with a much wider variety of villains and characters and boss battles and everything going on. It's excellent. I love Ape Escape 2. Hell, the PS2 graphics look just about right for it. It feels more like a remastered version of the first game, and honestly, I enjoy that quite a bit. It's great. I love Hikaru as a character. Even though some of the stuff going on here doesn't make much sense, these monkeys were not in the very first game, and it feels like an entire different universe to the Ape Escape world. But if I could get behind all that and push that aside and not worry about it, the continuity's sake or whatever, then you get a really enjoyable game. It's fun, the controls are great, and the characters are pretty great too. Honestly, I have a lot of fun. And funny enough, I actually prefer the British version to the game. Well, the European version. I like the voice acting that's done in it. I didn't much care for the Ash or the Pokemon dub is what I call it. But this one is pretty good, pretty solid, and the voice acting is really fun too. Well, now that I'm done here, let's go to the best.
Monkey!
Of course, the best is going to be the very first game, and On the Loose. I will count On the Loose on here too, because it's basically the same game, just on PSP with slightly better graphics and different voice acting. Anyway, talk about catching lightning in a bottle the very first time. Ape Escape 1 was revolutionary with its game control and its story and everything here. It's just excellent. Of course, if you watched my top 10 favorite video games of all time, you guys would know Ape Escape is in my top 5 favorite video games. And it's definitely worthy of being there. It's just fantastic. I love this game to pieces. I have a very special history with this game. You see, my mom was having us pick out games that we wanted for the PlayStation 1. And I found Ape Escape sitting there, and it was the very first game that I picked and I paid for with my own money. Instantly, I was hooked and I fell in love with it. Its crazy-ass story, with its crazy-ass villain, its over-the-top voice acting, everything here just fits. It's one of the biggest game franchises that I've ever fell in love with. I absolutely am enamored in this game's beauty. It's so weird. You hear this thinking that, good lord, you have to go around and catch monkeys? What a stupid premise. Even reading it on paper sounds dumb. But the execution is what matters, and this game really did pick up its execution really well. The graphics and the soundtrack alone is just epic. No other Ape Escape game has ever sounded this good when it comes to the soundtrack. Every time I just listen to some of the beats in this game, you just forget that you're playing the game and you feel like just dancing to it and busting a move. They play this anywhere else, I would probably just bust a fucking move and start moving like Michael Jackson or something. This game is just amazing. And I'm just gushing about it, sitting here gushing about it, thinking that, has there ever been a better version of the game? Well, this brings me to my next point in the video. If Ape Escape 2 is getting to be put on the PS4 to be able to buy and play it, why hasn't Ape Escape 1 yet? In fact, why is it Spyro and Crash Bandicoot all get remasters for the PS4, but the very first Ape Escape doesn't? I think the very first Ape Escape deserves a remaster. It's only fair. But that's just my opinion. It'll probably never happen, even though this game was really hyped up and popular when it came out. And it still is growing a following today, even. I think that a remaster would do it some good. It would get it even more popularity. It is the best game out of the franchise. And what's nice is, it was the very first game. It only took once. Lightning in a bottle one time. And that's it. Well, that is my ranking of Ape Escape. Did I leave any out, or did I misplace a game? Let me know in the comments which Ape Escape game is your favorite. Always remember, I'm listening.